pension, the £3,000 that's awarded is on average 15% of those businesses on costs on a month-by-month basis. So, if you took, the average restaurant in the city, it costs them £20,000 to be closed. So where does the other 17,000 come from? Especially when those businesses haven't had the opportunity to really trade this year with any real rhythm to be able to build any cash reserves. How does that happen? It simply doesn't. And that's where the significant issue is for the hospitality sector, given they were closed in lockdown 1 for 5 months and then have opened under heavy restrictions, which has meant that the average business in Birmingham city centre has not been running out profit.
So what do you want? Do you want all of those costs covered? Do you want a commitment that no business will go under simply because it cannot operate?
I think if you consider that the furlough was first introduced at 80% and the employer's national insurance and pension contributions were covered, the question that I would have for the government is that you've gone back to the furlough scheme again in order to protect business and its employees. Why have we done so, burdening the business with the continued on cost of the employer's national insurance and pension? I can understand it on a business that is open and trading, that they wouldn't be covering the employer's national insurance and the pension, but on a business that's closed, really, I'm kind of struggling somewhat to see how that's going to be viable. And when you say that the reason that the hospitality sector has been closed is in order to continue to allow education to remain open, it's because we're unreliable businesses. Because in August and in September, when hospitality was able to trade, the number one contributing factor to the rise in the economy and the bounce back. So the only to trade is because you requested that we close.
Just how many members are on the brink, would you say?
If this matters by January, 90%.
90%?
Mm-hmm. So given that Birmingham is the second city for culinary cuisine, we're the second city in respect to Michelin stars. What does that show to the rest of the world, and what does that show to the rest of the United Kingdom about the stability for the hospitality sector at the moment?
Thank you, Sam. We'll talk again between now and then, I have no doubt. Thank you, Sam Morgan, one of the leaders of the Birmingham Hospitality Group, which has over 250 members. Lorraine has called from Pontypool in Wales. Hello, Lorraine.
Hi, Sheila. I was just ringing up because I've been MP from the Ribble Valley, was it, who phoned up, and I was concerned about the language that we're using about giving incentives to those areas that are hard to get them to behave well. And I think it's unfair that when MPs make it look like those areas, there's many in the inner city that are behaving, and it's not down to that. If you live in a, there is less of a population, less children to school to come home and bring the virus. I think most of that happened as well. North and South divide, about, they were saying they've got high rates, so they need to behave and big incentives to behave, and I don't think that's helpful when MPs use that language.
I know what you mean. I mean, the reality of the situation is dependent on people who are getting it wrong, who are the vast majority or a town to see that.
Yeah, yes.
But you're right. The reality of a high infection area is kinds of contribute to it,
and the other
to be recognised.
And if the other thing thought like that, we forget to take into northern towns and some in the south of England has been in lockdown for months and suffering much longer, and looking like that, it's stopped for where they are, and that's dangerous.
It is, and I also, the reason I am the idea of really sort of siloed areas in tiers, lots and lots of little in tiers, is I think it heads towards the original plague and crosses on people's doors.
Yeah, and I don't think it would work like that. I think we've all got to really take. I mean, we're not going home. We live in Wales. We're from. Obviously, I'm not from Wales. You'll be able to tell from Yorkshire. We're not going to go home because we're not. The vaccine is really there. I'm not going to take it at the last minute. Yeah. I'm not going to take it to my family at the last minute. So we're going to have Christmas. And I think if we all, and I'm a Christian, I'm a big believer in Christmas. I will still celebrate Christmas. Yeah. I will celebrate
quietly,
Christ.
Differently. Yeah, me too. And Lorraine, you know, I was having this conversation with my family yesterday that over Christmas we're going to carry on doing what most of us, my mum, quite regularly, we have like a kind of rota of caring for her. So most of us see her anyway on that basis because she needs us in that. But we have really quite strict rules around about numbers, around around, you know, nobody shares a hand towel or anything like that. We've got in place so that that we come and we go, we have a kind, you know, we're in the house.
Risk assessment for your family. That's what you keep people as safe as possible. But you keep them as safe as possible, really, isn't it?
No, I agree with you. Thank you very much. Important perspective from Lorraine in. Just before we go to the headlines, a little and said we played you a clip at the beginning of that and pooled interview, as they're called, that he did Public Health England Lab in Salisbury this morning. When he these lockdown measures and how they're affecting areas and individual companies, and I think it's a figure to land on. It's about one people in one in, and what we all.
I'm outside. Coming in the school now. But waiting there.
Feels like a party. But it feels like it in comparison. And tier one, you know, Mardi Gras, frankly. But it seems to me that the arrival and the delivery of mass testing in tier 3 areas can't come soon enough. We'll hear from Luke Tugby in a moment, editor of Retail Week, about the difficulties that Arcadia, who run Topshop, to name just one chain of stores, and the trouble that they are in. And more of your calls. The tier you are in, is it unjust in your view? 0345 606009.
Hello, young man. I'm in the car park now. I sent you a text message outside I was, but I'm now in the car park, looking directly at the little tent, you know, beside the school. All right, see you.
November, enjoy a minimum 10% off almost every code Lenovo.com. And on Black Friday, discover amazing mega deals as they're released throughout the day. So keep checking Lenovo.com throughout Black Friday and enjoy incredible deals on laptops powered by Intel Core processors, desktops, tablets, gaming devices and more. Don't miss out. Spend Black Friday at Lenovo.com. Offer subject to conditions and availability.
I get in the other yeah.
The Mercedes.
It's a bit.
Vehicle emissions harm you and if you currently own or have owned a diesel Mercedes that was made in 2009 and 2018, for thousands of pounds in compensation. Join the claim. Visit mercedesemissions.co.uk or text JOIN to 85222. That's Mercedes.
I should have waited outside, but then I thought as they just opened the gates, I thought I'll come in. But you know, now we've got to get out, haven't we? It's a nightmare.
Flick that switch to turn on the motor.
Oh, I don't know.
And we're off. I say connect me, and the bass goes. And everyone's loving it when we hit the road. Back home from another mini electric journey. We're like, search mini electric and don't just drive it, feel it.
Right now, for an amazing £5, the Co-op freezer filler deal gives you great value on family favourites, including a pack of 4 Bird's-Eye chicken burgers and a 456 down from £9.90. Subject to availability, see participation.
Today's a special day with BP New Award. Pay for your fuel with the app. 1,000 points. You can redeem more fuel.
You have a good day. All right.
1,000 points. BP New Awards.
BPV. Download BPV in the App Store and register today. BPVrewards.co.uk for more information. Participating stations. On LBC. 560600973.
I think throughout the week so far we've got used to
Has any on you having a phone?
Retail empire,
Okay.
which has a big presence in the high street. Shop, Burton, Dorothy Perkins, DP, is understood to be on the brink of collapse. With potential lenders, 30 million to help the business. Christmas. Let's talk about this with Luke Tugby, Retail Week. To Luke Tugby before Luke Tugby is ready to speak to me. Let's talk to Kate Kitchen in Hertford. System. What are you thinking, Kaylin?
So, I'm in tier 2, so my view is as follows. Talking and just the lady that spoke, keep everybody, and especially our loved ones, safe as possible.
Yeah.
Now, in order to do that, we cannot...
Well, with this type of action, you've got one road. Yeah, it's crazy that they allow schools to be built here. Crazy. You just don't, build in an area where you've got bad access. Or if you do, it's better, you know.
Of winning the fight with an invisible enemy. It used to be that people saw bombs falling down and killing people. They'll be far more prepared to hide away, going to bunkers, stay there, even claustrophobes were going there to save their lives. Now everybody is fussy. Oh, it affects my mental health. Oh, I'm bored. Oh, I'm frustrated. Oh, I'm this, oh, I'm that. Think about saving lives.
But listen, don't underestimate people.
Did you see that fella? Oh, you didn't see him, did you? He tried to stop me.
In a way we all do.
I just ignored him.
But people...
But don't do things that are dangerous. That's the whole thing. This is contagious. You can't.
is a lack of discipline here?
There is a major lack of discipline. There is a major, I feel like this is how it should be. I feel like a lot of people just think about what would make them comfortable, what they think that is right. But they have no basis to make an accurate judgment.
You mentioned the war, and I'm broadcasting from Liverpool today, and the literally, as you said it, across the window that I'm looking out of, a huge military truck convoy, 3 trucks, went past, full of soldiers and full of supplies. And those supplies, I imagine, are testing kits, because the city, as you know, is having mass COVID testing, and the military are helping to deliver it. So if you see stuff like that, it has just stopped me short seeing it while I'm talking to you. It does stop you short. It does give you an insight into the seriousness of the situation.
Exactly.
And I must say, at the beginning of all of this, in the original lockdown, I did what you're describing. I did do the absolute most you can. However, I have a different approach now. I'm still very sort of restrained in everything that I do compared to normal. But I do think after a period of time, it is possible, I've proved it's possible by, as have many others, it is possible to move about, to move between areas, to socialise a little, and when, not in lockdown obviously, but when you're in tier 1 or tier 2, it is possible to meet friends and go for a walk in the park, so to go out and have some space and have some air and have some exercise. It is possible to do it without being in full, total, personal lockdown. And I think it's important that we take those little moments where we can, as long as we do it safely and responsibly, because we need them.
Well, yes. Yeah, I think we need to always remember to be as safe as possible, because the thing is, we do not see the virus, we do not see contagion.
Look at all these cars, John, waiting to go in the school.
Your kid comes from school. I mean, my kids go to school.
I got there very early, you see.
They're crammed together in detention. I mean, it's all bonkers. Instead of, the duty of care that the school has seems to be ignored because of the politics of education. And then the kids come home. They may be healthy, but they can be very dangerous for a grandparent of 80, 85. Even for parents, if the parents are a bit more, well, any age really. But it's just a contagion. So you're still healthy, but you can be a carrier. And then you go meet some friends. And then you infect them. Even if you think you're careful, this is all about statistics.
Well, and this is also, if you're in a tier 3 area, or a tier 2 area for that matter, if mass testing becomes available, make use of it. My goodness, make use of it, because particularly those asymptomatic people, upwards of 700 asymptomatic infections were found so far in Liverpool in the mass testing, and that's 700 or more people who were isolating who wouldn't have been.
Well, exactly. I mean, if they haven't been tested, they'll think perfectly fine. And then you think people I could socialize with. Just a few. Look, we should.
But even then, you can socialize. You're allowed to socialize in tier 2, for example, outside at a table, in a restaurant outside, having food and drink with friends, up to 5 friends. You're allowed to do that, and I think you should do that if you're able to do that. And you can also do it safely. You don't hug them when you meet them. You make sure the tables are clean. You make sure your hands are clean. You keep your distance from the waiters and all the rest.
Yes.
You can do it all safely if you just keep your wits about you.
Well, I think I would not say you can do it all safely. I think you can do a lot more if you pay a lot more attention. But again, it's about statistics. You can be safer if you do less. You can be safer if you do whatever you do, taking every single possible safety measure. And then you can improve the chances of you, your loved ones, and the people you get past and you've been to because you can't avoid it.
But you're right. It is about discipline. It's about a bit of self-control. It's about a bit of self-possession, and it's hard. It is hard. It's hard to do that all the time. It's mentally and physically hard to do that all the time. Kaylin, thank you for your call. Kaylin in Hitchin. Tweet I should say, says, I think the tier system is unjust. We are punishing whole counties due to just a small number of areas. The ruling around pubs and alcohol only with a substantial mean is also completely bonkers. Nothing to stop me ordering 5 pints with a meal. Well, you say that, but I've just read a piece in the Evening Standard, which we'll try and confirm, saying that Downing Street's message is that once you've finished eating, you can't carry on drinking in the place that you go to. So make that meal last, kids. Behave, allowed, comply, conform. These are the words of it. Dictatorship. Sadly, that's what this country has become. It's not what this country has become, but I hear you. Even as I said it when I was speaking to Kaylin about if you're allowed to socialise, we should be using words like able, shouldn't we? If you're able to socialise, not allowed, because clearly you can socialise. Whatever is happening, you can find ways to socialise safely, hopefully. Doreen says, if we could get teenagers coming out of school not huddling together and walking home and social distancing like everyone else, we might get somewhere, says Doreen. I was concerned with the MP from Ribble Valley. He needs, and everyone needs to understand that there is a vaccine out there. This will all be over in a couple of months, maybe not a couple of months, but soon, hopefully. We don't know for sure though, do we? So I've read that one about drinking 5 pints with your meal. Hope you enjoy it, if that's what you do. Just want to make this email bigger so I can read the rest of it. It'll all be over in a couple of months, so let's all work together, stay away from other people wherever possible, and let's all have a great 2021. At the moment, it's city against city, district against district, politicians against politicians. Let's all be one, says Jules in London. Join together, stay put. 3 months to go with the small freedoms that we're being given. Otherwise, we'll all be locked down again for January and February. That's from Jules. Keep your calls coming on this. Do you believe that the tier that your area has been placed into, you may have been in it for months already prior to this lockdown, is it now feeling like an injustice to you? And what do you make of the response of places like Kent, who are newly in tier 3? I wonder how Manchester, Leicester, Nottingham, Newcastle feel when they hear the complaints coming from Kent. 03456060973, the number. You can text 84850 or tweet at LBC. It's 1:45.
Weekends at LBC with David Lammy.
The Home Secretary, Priti Patel, broke the ministerial code by bullying staff. And I recall Priti Patel talking about how she was bullied. I cannot understand how you can have been bullied and then not understand that you were bullying someone else. Why is Boris Johnson standing by her? Why hasn't she offered her resignation?
David Lammy, Saturday afternoons from 4, LBC.
Missed the PPI deadline? Don't worry. Fast Track Reclaim, a claims management company, can check PPI on every credit card, loan and mortgage you've ever had. And with Fast Track Solicitors legal action, you could still claim it back, even after the deadline. Find out. Text yes to 82727. You don't need a claims company to check PPI and can claim through a solicitor of your choice.
Fast Track Reclaim. Text yes to 82727.
Day with BP Me Rewards. Just download the BP Me app by Monday and pay for your fuel of December and you'll get 1,000 points. You can redeem them on fuel or with any one of their great partners like Amazon. Hey, 1,000 points is a £5 Amazon gift card. BP Me Rewards, making Black Friday a bargain.
BP Me Rewards. Live rewards more often. Download BP Me in the App Store and register today. Terms and conditions apply. Visit bpmerewards.co.uk for more information. Participating stations.
Save £30 on Ancestry DNA until Cyber Monday and discover the people, places and journeys that led to you. All for the lowest price of the year. Buy your Ancestry DNA kit today for just £49. Price excludes shipping costs. Offer ends 30th November.
Get more from Black Friday with Lenovo. From 8 p.m. on the 26th of November, enjoy a minimum 10% off almost everything at Lenovo.com. And on Black Friday, discover amazing mega deals as they're released throughout the day. So keep checking Lenovo.com throughout Black Friday and enjoy incredible deals on laptops powered by Intel Core processors, desktops, tablets, gaming devices and more. Don't miss out. Spend Black Friday at Lenovo.com. Offer subject to conditions and availability.
This Christmas at Sainsbury's, we're making shopping safer for everyone.
Remember to shop alone whenever possible.
Use our Smart Shop app for a quicker and safer trip. And of course, keep following our in-store safety measures.
Sainsbury's, helping the nation have a safer, Merry Christmas.
Smart Shop available in selected stores. 18+ nectar card required. T's and C's apply.
Ah, the great British roast. When mobiles are set aside, the TV goes off, the family comes together, and everything stops. For the perfect roast, only Bisto Best Gravy will do. Made with real meat juices for that authentic, rich roasted flavour. Bisto.
Hello, I'm Vicky Butler-Henderson, racing driver and motoring journalist, and I'm passionate about empowering consumers. If you currently own or have owned a Mercedes diesel vehicle made between 2009 and 2018, you might be eligible for thousands of pounds in compensation due to their alleged use of emissions controlling devices. To join the claim and find out if you qualify, visit mercedes-emissionsclaim.co.uk or text JOIN to 85222.
Global Player is the official LBC app. Download it from your app store now for free or go to globalplayer.com.
I know it's here somewhere. I just had the tab open, but which one? There's a million. Oh, not that one, not that one. Where are you, you shiny little phone? Oh, I know, search history. Oh, get rid of that. And that, delete.
Your search is over. Our best ever Black Friday is here. Save up to £400 on the stunning Samsung Galaxy S20 FE. Search your tool Black Friday.
On select tariffs, £40 off device plan and £360 airtime discount based on 36-month contract. O2 Refresh credit by Telefonica UK Limited. Eligibility and terms apply.
Leading Britain's conversation. LBC with Sheila Fogarty.
Right, Arcadia Take Two. I was talking earlier on Sir Philip Green's retail empire Arcadia, which includes Topshop, Burton and Dorothy Perkins, understood to be on the brink of collapse. Sir Philip has been in talks with potential lenders about borrowing £30 million to help the business through Christmas. Let's talk to Luke Tugby, editor of Retail Week. Had people in the know seen this coming, Luke?
Well, actually, I mean, it's been on the cards for a long time. I would say Arcadia has been struggling for a good few years now. It's been squeezed from all angles, really, by its competitors, the likes of H&M and Primark. At the value end, the premium and luxury players have actually held up relatively well, all things considered, during COVID. And then you've got more nimble online brands like ASOS and Boohoo who have just moved much quicker with the times and given the customer what they want, which actually Arcadia's brands have not really managed to achieve over the last couple of years.
They've just relied still too heavily on the physical high street shops, have they?
Yeah, I mean, they've still got 500 plus stores across the UK spanning their various brands, and it's a group that's been starved of investment, I think, over the past 5 to 10 years. They've not moved to try and become more digitally focused. If you look at more traditional retailers like M&S, they have been slow to adapt, but they are actually creating divisions within the business now that are focused on data, focused on coding, focused on their online development, and that's just something that Arcadia hasn't done.
How many people are we talking about here facing job losses?
So we think it's around 13,000 across the group, which is obviously incredibly sad. I mean, their stores will reopen the middle of next week, but that's 13,000 people that are going back to work with an incredibly uncertain future facing them. We think they could go into administration as early as next week. We don't know what that will mean for the brands. I think probably only Topshop is the one that the jewel in the crown, if you like, that anyone would look to buy. I can't see anyone else looking to maybe save fascias like Wallace or Evans. So that there's unfortunately a lot of high street jobs that are likely to go.
And Wallace and Evans are theirs as well, are they?
Yeah, so they're in Topshop, Topman, Wallace, Evans, Dorothy Perkins and Burton. I think that's all of their brands in their stable. Burton is the only other one that might have some brand equity for a potential buyer if they were to go back to their heritage in suit making and tailoring. Other than that, I think Topshop is the only one where buyers might circle and look to save the brand and then save the jobs.
And given that dominance on the high street, that list you just gave us there, I mean, talk about, two front teeth missing on the high street if they go.
It would be a huge blow, yeah. As I say, around 500 stores they own. That's going to hit almost every high street shopping centre across the UK. You'd expect them to have some presence. So it is going to be a huge blow, but what this isn't is the death of the high street. There is certainly still a role for stores, shops that provide an experience, give customers what they want. And as I said before, Arcadia's brands just haven't done that for a really long time. And what this will leave, yes, is boarded up shops in the short term, but what it will mean in the longer term is that much more nimble, customer-centric retailers will come to the fore and take that space in the longer term.
Thank you very much, Luke.
There you go, young man.
Retail Week.
Oh,
Let's talk to Chris in Wakefield. You're in tier
I don't know, actually. I'd go through with me if I were you.
Chris?
Yeah, Jen, yeah, I do actually. I mean,